What is up, everybody? Today we made $23,000, cut a nice 30-point move on ES live with all the students, guys, and we're up almost $100,000 this month going into Thanksgiving. So could not be more grateful, could not be more blessed, man. We've been navigating this difficult market with precision, and honestly, patience is what paid off. I'll tell you guys today everything we did to make sure we snagged all 30 of those points in ES, how we made 23 grand this day, how we were able to make almost six figures this month. Still not over. We got some time to hit that six-figure mark. And also at the end, I'm going to show you guys what you could be doing to prepare for tomorrow. It's a shorter week because of the holidays here in America. We got Thanksgiving, we got Black Friday, and then we're also going to recap everything off at the end with something you guys could be doing to actually go and navigate this market with a lot of ease, because it's been a difficult one. A lot of people have been struggling, right? So let's just get into today and what we did. So off of today, my pre-market plan was going to be looking for either longs off the demand down here, right? We had a little demand that also got broken here for shorts into this 67 level, but we avoided everything because, as you can tell, look at the candles, look at the price action we had off the open. Really, really crazy. And then looking at Bookmap, right? We had major liquidity sitting here above the pre-market highs, a little bit of a 15-minute supply, which is what we took. So the play we took today was actually a break retest of this pre-market supply, this 15-minute level, all the way up into this broken demand we had on this massive sell-off at the 60. So we caught this to here. Why I was super aggressive here is because look at the space we have. We had nothing stopping us from getting into this broken demand. So I was super aggressive on this move because the R&R would have been significantly high. And again, there's nothing stopping us whenever we broke off. So we waited, we were patient off this break. Down here, we swept and filled a lot of liquidity, which we're going to talk about all of that. Look at the move down in the open, filling all these passive buyers. Waited on confirmation, waited for us to break. Look at this absorption here, to break this pre-market high with strength and get aggressive offers below. Waited for the retest. We'll talk about everything here in a second, but first off and foremost, let's go over why we were going on the long side today, and also talk to you guys about the loss we took yesterday. So today and yesterday basically took a similar trade. Yesterday, we tried to take break retest longs. Failed, right? Stopped out, but it didn't end up going in my direction. Today, we tried the same exact thing. Break, retest long, but ended up catching over 30 points on this entire move up, about $23,000 on the day. So let's go ahead and go over everything. Also want to showcase, guys, what we have going on so far for this month of November. 96K so far this month, a total of $16,000 for this week, almost 17 with 23 today, minus 6K yesterday. And then obviously we've been killing it so far in November, about to close off the year with a bang. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and go over what makes me want to go ahead and be bullish versus bearish, what makes me go ahead and make out my plan, and why we took this long today and the long yesterday. So a quick checklist you guys can actually use here to identify like your market direction, your key levels is what I use here. So the first thing I do is I go ahead and check out the 4-hour time frame bias. So like what's the 4 hours showing us? Why is the 4 hour bullish versus bearish? And you can kind of see as of yesterday, we had ES make a higher low and a higher high. And today off the open, we made a higher low. Wow, right? So take in mind the longer time frame, filling all of this massive liquidity, kind of confirming to us that this was a higher low in the 4-hour time frame, going into making a new higher high, which was above this pre-market highs, where we took that play right on the 4-hour time frame. And once we figured that out, we then knew there was nothing stopping us above this high from getting all the way into this broken demand at the 67.59. So again, that's why we decided to go for longs today. If we're bullish, higher highs, higher lows; bearish, lower lows, lower highs; consolidation, equal highs, equal lows, and only try and trade the direction of the 4-hour trend, not fighting the structure if you want your probability of success to be even higher. Because again, guys, zoom out. What is the number one thing you notice? That the average time we spend following a trend is much greater than the average time we spend breaking and or forming a new trend. Just common math that puts probability on your side. Now, step number 2, right, is where we find our key levels. We're going to mark our key levels out every single day with that pre-market supply. If bullish, we want longs from demand. If bullish, we want breaks, retest of supply, which is what we did for continuation. If bearish, shorts from supply. If bearish, break, retest of demand. And then look for strong replacement zone or displacement when identifying zones. So we're going to avoid weak zones that get broken. This shouldn't say retested here, should say broken, and actually held on the higher time frame. So what this means is a little typo there. Is if a zone gets closed above, so on a 30-minute time frame here, what do we see from today, right? If we get a zone that gets closed above an invalid, so right here we had supply, right? Let's move down supply, but we actually close above on the 30-minute time frame, I will then invalidate that zone. That level gets invalidated for me completely. And then the multi-time frame analysis, if you want your win rate to be even stronger, is align the 4-hour bias with 5-minute execution. So kind of what we did today. If you pay attention, 4 hours bullish, we were going into a 5-minute bullish structure as well. So when you align the 5-minute with the 4-hour, you get a much better probability of it going in your favor. We were making higher highs and higher lows on the 4-hour time frame, right? We were also making higher highs and higher lows on the 5-minute time frame. So we aligned the overall market structure on the 4-hour with the 5-minute. So for bullish, we're looking for higher lows in the 5-minute time frame for our entry, right? If we get in on a higher low in the 5-minute time frame, let me just see if I can draw this out for you guys here. So let me get my drawing tool. Let me draw. Oh, not what we want to do there. Not what we want to do there. What I could do is actually draw it up here. So if we get in right here like we did on the higher low on the 5-minute time frame, right, this is kind of confirming our thesis, because if we get on a higher low, what we think will happen is the market will make a new high. So if we are accurate on getting into the higher low, we can put our stop loss underneath that higher low, meaning if we come down and we make a new low, right, not a higher low, we make a new lower low, our thesis of the market going up would be invalid, which is a great place to put your stop loss to give yourself the most possible time of staying alive in the play or in the setup, right? And then again, 5-minute entry triggers that we used to do, we'll talk about that. Absorption, liquidity sweep, aggressive reversal imbalance, break, retest, just aggressive continuation on book map, never the opposite of the high time frame structure. Always going with the overall trend. I can't speak today, right? The final trade checklist, y'all can screenshot this, save it if you actually want to do this. But again, 2-to-1 take profit is the most important part here. But let's go ahead and break down our entry trigger, why we took the setup. Also have some videos of me live executing the setup and executing this trade that we can go ahead and go over. But yesterday we kind of tried the same thing here, playing this break retest. Again, why? Because look at how much freedom we had, how much room. Yesterday I took a loss and I actually decided to step away, but we ended up going exactly to where I wanted it to go to. And we took like a 10-ish point loss, but we got back like 35 points today, so I cannot complain. But it basically was the same thing, right? We had an aggressive close here above our pre-market supply, sold off, retests, got stopped out, entered too early, even though I saw an entry trigger. Decided not to get back in because I was down $6,000 for the starting off the week. I was like, oh, let's let Monday play off. And it was no news Monday. I did not expect this to happen on no news Monday, but it did. Today we had news. We had good movements. Pre-market chopped around. Had the pre-market supply levels we made here off the open and kind of held a lot pre-market. Broke aggressively, right? Then retested for long. So same exact thing, same exact concept, same exact play. Now our entry trigger here was actually based off of this. First off and foremost, what we notice is all the liquidity being filled on the sell-off off the open, right? Super simple. Keep in mind, this right here is going to be fuel, massive fuel for this move up that we are having right now. Then we noticed that we had that 15-minute supply that we had on the open, which was kind of also backed up by right at this massive sell offer. So for me to enter in long, I first wanted to see us close aggressively above that offer, fill those sellers, and have aggressive bids above. So we had aggressive bids above, as you can tell by our indicator right here. Then after this happened, cleared our level, filled the offers, had aggressive bids. I'm waiting for a retest, which is what we did. We retested in this iceberg offer. Basically, a lot of passive sellers or passive buyers sitting here trying to defend that retest. Had a lot of sellers get absorbed, and if you kind of zoom in, you see some exhaustion at the very bottom. But the important thing to notice here is the big sellers here got stuffed. There was more passive buyers. You can see there's still some left over than there was aggressive sellers failing to clear this level. So all I had to do after this is wait for buyers to take back over. So as we sold off, right, all I did, and again, we meant the absorption here, all I did was wait for buyers to come back in and fill the massive passive offers. So as we were going back up, we were chilling, and right here, we had a big buyer or multiple buyers actually start filling these passive offers and holding above price, which is what we use for our entry. So not only do we wait, right, for the higher time frame confirmation, for the actual fuel to take control, for everything to align, for the break to come in through, but off the retest, once we're looking for an entry, we wait for one side to get absorbed or exhausted and the other side to take control for our entry. Exactly what we did. We were able to put our stop loss underneath the last low. So if our thesis was wrong, we have perfect invalidation. We were able to take the market all the way up into the 60s, which was exactly where we had more resistance coming through, which is this broken demand, right? Which is kind of where we started to hold for a little bit, but above this, which is kind of already invalid for me, we have this supply, which is super strong supply, which I will be looking for shorts if we get up to there after like a 5-minute structure shift, obviously into the 67 80s, right? So that was the play we took today. Same exact thing as we took yesterday. Same entry trigger. We were right on the move almost every single day for the past couple of weeks. All my red days have been me being right on the move, but having the wrong entry because the market's been super volatile. So I've had to kind of adjust my size as we go. Had 15 contracts today. Not a lot of contracts, actually smaller size for me, but I was able to hold a majority of them into this move into the 60s or 59s to be 59.75 to be more exact. But overall, I cannot speak, a beautiful, beautiful day with a beautiful, beautiful setup. Now, going into the rest of the week and obviously into next month, what we have been seeing here on the 4-hour is a major liquidity sweep that we just kind of started recovering from. Massive volume down here where we see all these sellers get absorbed, and now buyers are starting to step back in. But we do notice volume is low. But volume is low because we're going into a holiday session, holiday period. We just closed above the higher time frame EMA as well, and we have been forming higher highs and higher lows here in the 4-hour time frame. So the last really thing for us to break here will be this long time frame supply we have here sitting on us. So at these 804s, really the 800s, above that, I can see us going all the way into the 880s, almost the 6900s, right? And above that, we have all-time high. Now we can be seeing a structure shift from being bullish back to, or from being bearish recently back to being bullish after the liquidity sweep, after the volume of absorption we had from sellers. Super important to watch for on every single open is what we are doing with the offer. So I knew before the market opened, I told my students this in the morning, guys. And also we're having lifetime access to live trading. To watch me trade live every single day will end on Black Friday. So if you want to watch me trade live every day, be a part of the Insider Trader Mentorship Group. There's an application link down below. Go ahead and book your call before Black Friday, because then live access or lifetime access will be gone. We will no longer do lifetime access. It'll be kind of, monthly separated. And obviously the price will go up a lot because we've had a lot of people joining, and I cannot cater to everybody. So every time more people join, we have to bump the price up, wait for people to graduate, then we get more people in, kind of how it rolls. The main goal with me is not to have you watch me trade live every day. It's to have you learn, right? Earn while you learn. So basically you can make money while you learn because you're executing with us. And also, right, be able to graduate and go on and trade on your own, which is the main goal for everybody. It's the main goal of every single student, which is why we don't allow everybody to get in. If I wanted to, I can have the application open or remove the application, let anybody who wants to join make all the money I want to make, but I don't want to do that. I only want to let people in who want to learn this from themselves and aren't just looking to make a quick extra, easy cash just by doing nothing and just being little signal bots. Not what we want. But if you're interested, apply down below, because on Friday, that shit will be closed down. We also have some Black Friday bonuses going on right now. If you are interested in that, check them out down below. But again, the key here was the aggressive sell-off we had, taking out liquidity to fuel this massive move up. Super, super clean. And again, since this was all live, we're going to do our normal student shout out that took this trade live with us here. Obviously, a lot of people did Ray, Gandhi with the 430, Ace landed first profit back with the boys, about $1,000 profit. $650. He caught the whole move up. He actually got a better entry and a later take profit than me, but damn, this was the same trade we took. This was me, obviously, posting the profits, making sure y'all see it's legit. Another analyst with a 4.4K on the same exact trade we took right here. So again, this is everybody using the same system, the same knowledge, and replicating it and honestly executing with us. Somebody you saw here, right, actually was able to learn the system on their own and trade on their own, which is absolutely amazing. Again, apply down below if you are interested in that. Now, another setup that we're going to potentially be watching as well for tomorrow and later on throughout the year, right? Not much, it's like less than 20 trading days in the year, I think, is this demand level that we made here off the open. Yes, super wide wick, I understand that, but what we are looking for is this bullish trend to continue, for us to hold a higher high into new high. So we sell off here into a demand level. We're going to go for longs here in the safe side, target up here, right? And if we miss that, what are we going to do? This might form a new supply on the way down. Same exact thing we did today. And if that is the case where we do get supply on the way down, what do? Right? Wait for supply to be broken. Wait for a retest for longs. Exactly what we did today after we broke out from right here, right? Super simple, guys. We do this every single day. The less is more. We get those clear hits and those clear fills. So before we wrap up, I want to show you guys an A+ setup you can start using today, every single day, to start getting those payouts, guys. But the first thing we're going to do for longs, bullish on the 4-hour time frame, follow every single thing I'm about to tell you. Wait for price to approach demand, right? Wait for the higher high, wait for the higher low in the 5-minute time frame to confirm the 5-hour or 5-minute matches the 4-hour. Wait for one side to get exhausted or absorbed. So in this instance, we had exhaustion from the sellers into demand on, right, the lower high, or sorry, the higher low, and then wait for buyers to take control, wait for a buyer to fill an offer, and whenever that happens, you press buy. Make sure your R&R is at least a 2-to-1 from the low, not the second low, the first low, to give you the best possible chance, all the way into VWAP, or if the VWAP isn't there, if it's beneath you, you go for the next swing high or the swing low. For short, same thing. For bearish, wait for price to approach key level, zoom into the 5-minute time frame, wait for that low, wait for that lower high, Wait for one side to get exhausted or absorbed. In this case, we have exhaustion from buyers. Wait for the other side to take control. Fill. See, on the whole way up here, we did not fill any offers from sellers and make a bid below. Here we filled offers twice, actually, up here and down here. Made bids below. Make sure the R&R from that high. See, view up is above us. You target the last low is at least a 2-to-1, which in this instance it was 3-to-1 or 3-to-1. But if you actually went into this low here, it would have been 2-to-1. So you would have been golden and good to go. But without further ado, guys, hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I'll be posting a lot more educational content as we go. I've been cooking up some really good stuff for you guys. But again, leave a like, make sure you subscribe. It costs you nothing. It makes me keep going. Leave some video ideas y'all might have for me down below in the comments. I'll try to get back to every single comment. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.